All right, today we're jumping into one of the most influential stories ever told, the six-day creation account from the book of Genesis. Now, whether you see it as theology or literature, its incredible structure has shaped how so many people see the world. We're going to break down the super-ordered story step by step, straight from the source. So, let's get right into it.
And it kicks off with this incredibly famous line. I mean, talk about an opening. It just immediately sets the stage for absolutely everything that follows. But, and this is key, the world it's talking about right at this moment, it's not what you'd picture. Not even close. Yeah, this is a super important detail. The story doesn't start from absolute nothingness. Instead, the text paints this picture of, well, chaos. It's formless, it's empty, it's dark. Just this big, watery abyss. And that's the raw material. It's from this wild, untamed stuff that a structured world is about to be built. So this first half of the creation week, the first 3 days, it is all about bringing order to that chaos. A great way to think about it is like building a house, right? You gotta build the foundation, the walls, the roof, before you can start putting in the furniture. And that's exactly what's happening here, laying down the basic architecture of the universe.
And here is the game plan, the roadmap for how it all unfolds. It's a super clear, methodical 6-day process. You'll see we start with light, then get the sky and the land, and then everything starts getting filled in. This structure, this deliberate step-by-step approach is honestly the key to understanding the whole story.
Okay, day 1. It starts with maybe the most famous command of all time, let there be light. But here's something really cool to notice. The light is immediately separated from the darkness. That creates day and night. And think about this. This happens before the sun and moon even exist. It's almost like time itself, that basic rhythm of day and night, is one of the very first things to be put in place. Next up, day 2. The mission here is to get those chaotic waters under control. So the text says a firmament is created, which it also calls heaven. The way to picture this is like a huge dome, a kind of solid barrier that separates the water down here from the water up there, basically carving out a safe space that we now call the sky. Day 3 is a busy one. It's got 2 parts. First, the waters get pushed back and boom, dry land appears. That's called Earth. Then for part 2, that brand new land gets its first job, to sprout all kinds of vegetation, grass, plants, fruit trees. And we see a phrase here that's going to pop up again. Each plant reproduces after his kind. It's establishing this idea of ordered, distinct species right from the get-go. And after each of these steps, you hear this phrase over and over again. It's like a repeating chorus in a song, this stamp of divine approval. And God saw that it was good. You can just feel the chaos being pushed back and replaced by an order that's very clearly, very deliberately called good. Okay, so let's recap. The house is built, right? We've got our fundamental structures, light and dark, sky and seas, and land with plants. Now we get to move into phase 2. The next 3 days are all about filling up these brand new spaces. It's time to bring in the residents. So check this out. On day 4, we see this really cool parallel. Remember on day 1, light and dark were created? Well, now on day 4, that realm gets filled. That abstract idea of light gets a physical body, a greater light for the day and a lesser light for the night. And their job is spelled out too. They're there to mark seasons, days, and years. They're basically a giant cosmic clock to organize life. Day 5 is just an explosion of life. It's incredible. And again, look at the parallel. The seas and the sky that were formed back on day 2 are now getting filled up. The water is suddenly teeming with creatures, and the air is full of birds. And for the very first time, we hear a blessing. These new creatures are told to be fruitful and multiply. And to complete the pattern, the first part of day 6 perfectly mirrors day 3. The dry land that appeared, now it gets filled with life. The text talks about 3 main types of animals: cattle, things that creep along the ground, and wild beasts. And there's that phrase again, hammering home the idea of order. Each one is made after his kind. But hold on, day 6 is not done yet, not by a long shot. The story is now building up to its grand finale, the most unique and special act of creation in the whole sequence. And right here, the whole tone of the story just changes. The language completely shifts. Up until now, everything was let there be, but now it's let us make. It feels so much more personal, like a moment of deep thought or discussion, which really makes this final act stand out from everything else. And this is it, the result of that special deliberation.
humankind is created. And they're unique because they're made in a divine image and likeness. The text is also really quick to point out that this includes both male and female, right from the start.
Now, being created so uniquely comes with a pretty unique job description. Humans are given a specific role, a special mandate, to have dominion over, or you could say to be stewards of, the rest of creation, the fish, the birds, every living thing on the planet.
And that brings us to the final inspection, the final verdict. Once humankind is on the scene and the 6 days of work are totally finished, the assessment gets an upgrade. It's not just good anymore. Now, looking at the whole finished product, the entire creation is declared very good.
So there you have it. In 6 incredibly methodical days, the story takes us on this journey from a formless, chaotic mess to a fully formed, fully populated, perfectly functioning world. A world that's capped off with the creation of humanity and finally declared complete and very good.
And that really leaves us with something to chew on. As you think back on this whole story, consider this.